Hey guys, welcome back to Vlogmas Day 4. Here we are, December 4th, and tonight we're going to check out this brand new attraction they have here at the old Stapleton Airport, which has been closed since the 90s and kind of redeveloped. But this is called Camp Christmas, and they've taken an old hangar and they've supposedly decorated it with all kinds of crazy decorations and things, so it ought to be pretty interesting. So let's go check it out. Okay, so I decided to do a voiceover because it was loud, it was hard to hear me, and there was a lot of music, and I don't want any copyright dings, so we're just going to do this voiceover. Okay, so you start off by getting this field guide, and then you go around the corner. I later realized that this is sort of a queuing area. We went during the week, so it was not hard to get in, and we didn't have to wait in line, thankfully. But you start off by going down this tunnel. At this point, I'm like, oh, it's, just Christmas decorations. And then I come around the corner and see this bar, the first of several bars, totally covered with all Santa stuff. You've got these chandeliers. You've got, these vintage looking signs that all say Camp Christmas. This is the first year they've ever done it. So this is all made, anything that looks old is made to look old when it comes to the signage that says Camp Christmas. Then you've got this rotating thing with all these Santa heads. And at this point, I'm still like, okay, that's pretty cool. It's very over the top. Then I look over here, and this is the entrance. The entrance to the actual place. Oh, by the way, there is a sign here that kind of shows the different areas within the attraction. They call this immersive theater. You're standing, in the middle of the stage, so to speak, and all of these props and whatnot. So here's some house rules. Again, they kind of have this camp theme, but that's a double entendre because it's camp in the sense of, this tasteless, over-the-top, gaudy, crazy art as well. So we go into this tent, and you have to stoop down to get in here. Then there's these like bright neon trees, some of them with candy canes, some of them with like toys, some with ornaments. And, at this point, I'm like, wow, we're really in for something here. Out the other side, there is displayed here several signs. There's even textures on the floor. And at this point, they're sort of forcing you around like a queue line or whatnot, if you've ever been to Disney. Then we come into this first area display. It's like Greek kind of mythology. And I'm like, what is this? And I realize we're really in for it now. We've got history and tidbits about the origins of Christmas. And you'll notice a little dude with like the knife there. I looked at that later, and it's kind of odd. They kind of tell the pagan history of Christmas, which is a bit off-putting, but interesting nonetheless. So we keep going here. We've got, these are the fake displays of food, the history of wassail. Again, these origins of, the December 25th holiday, back before it was Christmas, when it was celebrating, the god of Saturn or whatever. I don't even understand all that stuff. So, the message here is just this zany, crazy art. And, if we focus on that, that's really the best thing to do here rather than dig for meaning. So we got a giant gold reindeer pulling a gold-encrusted sleigh with a mannequin in it wearing huge eyelashes. Of course. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you have this, right? Lots of little signs to, keep your paws and mittens to yourself. I think somebody told me this is Marie Antoinette was the idea. Okay. I'm just like, whatever. And then behind this gaudy, giant, gilded, gold-looking thing. And then I look up and, oh yeah, she's got a Christmas tree for a hairpiece. Of course, right? Absolutely, And then panning around here, we've got this giant chandelier in the middle of the space. And it has, music playing loudly, very loud, and like lights and things were synced to that music that was playing. Unfortunately, I can't play that for you here. So here's one of the many tree displays that we've got. This one is called Grandma's Tree. There's all kinds of like little things you can look for. This one, you were supposed to find a pickle in the tree. Why? I don't know. This tree had a topper on it. Over here, we've got the tiki bar. Of course, there's a tiki bar. And here's Santa's clock, which is running backwards. Why? I don't know. I have no idea about half of what I'm seeing here. Here we've got the list. And panning over here, naughty or nice list that you can add your own name to. More people were adding their name to the naughty list by choice, which is worrisome. Over here, and one of the many cabinets full of decorations and ornaments and things. And I look over here, and then we got KFC. Of course, there's KFC. Well, actually, in Japan, that's a big thing to have KFC on Christmas. So we're really going for the interesting facts and little known things. Here is a sleigh. You can get your picture taken on the sleigh. And, hordes of presents heaped up, and a window just randomly filled with little Christmas trees. This is kind of cool because it was like forced perspective. The trees in the back got smaller and smaller, which was kind of interesting. More presents, more decorations. Looking carefully, though, this naughty and nice list. Do you see a name that doesn't belong there? Kind of worried about that. And then over here, we've got this miniature theater thing with this fabric curtain and these little, theater seats on the side. We've even got little footlights down here at the bottom. And then if you wait a second here, it lights up and comes to life. And we've got this animated, kind of minstrel show, kind of puppet theater thing going on. Very bizarre. So this is the Victorian era that kind of tells the history-ish of, a Victorian Christmas, what that might have looked like with these little scenes and things set up. Lots of little trees, lots of little stuff that you can look at. This is like $12, $13 to get in. In hindsight, that's as much as they dare charge for it. It was an experience. Let me tell you that. It was an experience. Over here, another display of all kinds of stuff, and panning up there, a little quick behind the scenes shot of me filming this. And, just looking closely, piles of ornaments, and the people that made this have designed displays for like Neiman Marcus, parade floats, these are, professional decorators, and it's sponsored by, in part by the Denver Center for the Performing Arts. There's kind of a sinister looking Santa. I don't know how I feel about that. Here's a random carousel reindeer horse thing. Why not, We've got pink lights, garland. Here's a tree with plastic doll hands. This is the stuff that nightmares are made out of. But here we go. We've got a Christmas tree with rubberized doll hands for your enjoyment. And this little sign kind of is how I felt about a lot of this. It's just so bizarre. Transitioning over here to kind of this Art Deco themed area. They've got like lights in the Christmas tree for the first time. They've got a lot of Egyptian art kind of tied into this Art Deco theme. Now, there's a little stamping station. I'll show you that here in a minute. But here's some pictures here. And this guy in this picture right here looks either like Mayor LaGuardia from New York or Al Capone. I'm not sure which. And for those of you that have been to Denver and out by our airport, here's Blucifer, our satanic-looking blue horse with light-up red eyes on display, of course. And a giant Christmas tree with neon light tubes, thousands of piled-up ornaments, police lights and sirens, everything you can imagine in terms of a lamp to make up the lights of this gigantic monstrosity of a tree. That was really cool. I kind of like that. It was just so over the top. But, I'm really looking for the retro. I'm really looking for something like 30s, 40s, and 50s. And hopefully we'll come to that here in a minute. Right here is one of these stamp stations. So you take out your booklet that they give you, and you open it up, and then you can collect. This is like one of the kids' activities to do. You can, and of course I did it. You can stamp your way around the attraction. And this one is light, and we stamp it down there. Hard to do with one hand while I'm holding the camera with the other. And we've got it almost in the circle too. So panning down here, this is kind of a retro area, which I really like. We've got the history of bubble lights up there, which is actually kind of an interesting history I wasn't aware of. And panning down, we've got ornaments and decorations and vintage Christmas lights still in the package, including some cool Disney ones. But this is kind of neat, It's kind of almost looks like a storefront from like a general store or something like that. A lot of vintage Santa Claus stuff. You're not going to see Jesus anywhere in this display, unfortunately. To this world, there's no history of Jesus involved. Okay, on this wall here we've got more vintage lights. There's some records stapled up there, which I have mixed feelings about. And now we come into a pink room. Of course, we're coming into a pink room. Here I am, completely in my element. Pink everything. Pink, beautiful pink disco balls. Pink tree, pink horse. Pink people. Pink decorations. Everywhere. Pink, pink, pink. There's even like a pink chair that I can sit down on, which I'm going to. And then next to my pink chair is a pink light and a pink phone and a pink Santa Claus. These are all things that are a part of my life this Christmas. Do you think anybody would notice if I, sort of... I don't think I should. In case you were wondering what I was doing, that was a tree of gum and candy. So that's it. We stumbled out into the main area here, kind of dazed and confused, somewhat traumatized, but also entertained. They do like these cool canned food drives where they take the canned food and create art with it. I don't think these are all donations because they match perfectly, but here's a tornado. There's also a bear, other things to kind of get you thinking about donating canned foods. And of course, what place would be complete without a vending machine that sold socks and winter hats for no cheap of a price too. They were very expensive. And yeah, here's the bear. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is a very sort of avant-garde, trendy kind of mini mall thing in this old hangar out at the old Stapleton Airport. And one last thing I thought was really cool, my friends in the UK might like this. We've got biscuits all day. Of course, biscuits to us is different than a biscuit in the UK, but that was a cool sign in the floor. Anyway, very, very cool and interesting too. Okay, guys, we just came out of the marketplace. Let's see if there's any signage up here we can see. There's some signage over there. This is the weirdest thing I have ever seen. Not just the Camp Christmas, but the whole market thing was super, super unique. It felt like I was in Boulder. This is kind of interesting, you guys. So out front here, they have these slabs of concrete just kind of randomly sticking up here. And I'm pretty sure that these are old sections of the Stapleton Airport runways. I could be mistaken, but I am almost positive that's exactly what this is. Just kind of neat. They've redeveloped this whole area now into mixed-use development. Stores, restaurants, a lot of different housing things. This is a very trendy kind of thing they got going on here. Very interesting, that's for sure. All right, guys, back in the car here. Okay, that was interesting. Very, very interesting. We're parked out front still. So is it family friendly? Yeah, I would say it's family friendly. Is it really like a kids kind of thing? They could definitely go and have fun. You can stamp the things. There's a lot of booze everywhere. In fact, when we ordered hot chocolate, the first thing they said is, "You want booze in it?" Literally said, "Want booze in it?" No, I don't think so. But it is extremely odd. It is extremely avant-garde, would be another way to put it. They try to tell the story of Christmas by, decade, and, they got the Victorian era, the Art Deco era. It's kind of cool to see the different decorations, and there's a lot of history there, which is really, really cool. It was very absent of anything, in terms of Jesus or the actual story of Christmas. However, it was interesting. It was a little smaller than I thought it was going to be. It must have been a small hangar. I don't think that was. Did they say it was 10,000 square feet? I thought it was going to be 10,000 square feet. It felt more like maybe 4,000 or 5,000 square feet. I mean, it was a decent sized space. But it was bizarre, and there was a lot of people there. It's been open for, I think, about a week now. It was hot. It got really hot in there. So we kind of left stunned and not sure what we just saw. There was definitely some cool takeaways. There were some records. I didn't get a chance to show you guys all that, but there was some records that were actually pinned on the wall and whatnot. So it was interesting. It was it was a $1 million experience I wouldn't pay a dime for, kind of thing. But it was cool. It was something to see. So anyway, that's our adventure. And boy, was it an adventure tonight on our Record-ology Vlogmas. And we will be back tomorrow with another show. I have no idea. My wife is like, "Hey, you guys want to check out Camp Christmas?" I'm like, "Sure, let's do that. Sounds like fun." So it definitely gives us a thumbs up if you like this video. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions of things you'd like to see. And until tomorrow, guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Vlogmas. We will see you tomorrow.